So today's video is going to be about French Montana because 4 days ago, French Montana was shooting a video and apparently somebody shot 10 people at the video shoot. So of course, this is another energy harvest ritual. If you guys haven't noticed, they're doing a lot of them this year because it's 2023, the year of the skull and bones. And of course, this energy harvest ritual is scripted like the rest of them. And I'll be exposing that at the end of this video. So make sure you guys watch this video all the way to the end. So first, let's talk about French Montana's other characters. As you guys can see, French Montana's base character is Thurgood Marshall. And there's a very interesting reason as to why I'm making this video. So 2 weeks ago, I had a dream that French Montana died. And in the dream, I seen his funeral on TV, right? And when I woke up, I was really confused because I couldn't understand why I had this dream about French Montana. I don't even listen to his music, and he's never even crossed my mind to make a video about. So I was really wondering why, out of all people, did I randomly have a dream about French Montana. And keep in mind, this was 2 weeks ago, so he was not in the news or anything. So when I woke up from this dream, something came to my mind that I should make a video about French Montana because this most likely means he's gonna fake his death or someone around him is gonna fake their death. But obviously French Montana is not someone that I listen to, and he wasn't in the news or anything during that time, so I kind of brushed it off and I didn't really think too much about my dream until 2 weeks later, French Montana's video shoot gets shot up, and I instantly remembered about the dream that I had 2 weeks prior to that situation. So clearly this was God letting me know that this was gonna happen and that I should make a video about this. And even after his video shoot got shot up, I still wasn't really motivated to make this video. I was like having second thoughts about it. I was debating if I should still make this video or not. So I told God, if you want me to make this video about French Montana, give me a sign and I'll make the video. So that night I did research and I found his base character, which is obviously Thurgood Marshall. And as you guys can see right here, they look exactly alike. So at this point, I know his characters, and I had the dream before the shooting happened, and I was still debating if I should make the video or not. So I told God, give me a sign about this if you really want me to make this video. And sure enough, later on that day, I'm at a bookstore, and as I'm walking to the back of this bookstore, I see a book, and it's about Thurgood Marshall. It has this picture right here of Thurgood Marshall, and instantly I knew this was a sign from God that I should make this video. This was 100% confirmation for me, because what are the chances that I have a dream about him getting shot and then 2 weeks later it happens? And even though he didn't get shot, but his video shoot got shot up. And when I show you guys the gematria later, you guys are going to see how scripted this character is with death. So I wouldn't be surprised if later on they do fake this character's death. So yeah, that's just a little story that I have behind this character and the making of this video. I really wanted to mention this because I don't find it a coincidence that I ask God to give me a sign and I literally see this book about Thurgood Marshall and it's shown in plain sight at this bookstore. So God works in mysterious ways and he's always with us. So that's why whenever I need discernment for something, I always ask God and he always leads me in the right direction. And I recommend you guys do the same as well. And also I want to thank God for helping me with these videos because it's not only me making these videos. God is behind all of this. He wants me to expose this because clearly nobody else is. So that's the reason why I haven't stopped exposing celebrities. I really know that God really wants me to do this. He helps me out so much with finding these characters and giving me confirmation on who I should make a video about. So anyways, let's get into the video. As you guys can see right here, French Montana and Thurgood Marshall look identical. So let's take a look at some more side-by-side comparisons of French Montana and Thurgood Marshall, because this one is really obvious. And even from the side, they look so much alike. And keep in mind, Thurgood Marshall was born in 1904. So this is another case of an immortal character. In case you guys are new to my channel, lately I've been exposing a lot of immortal characters. And what I mean by this is they constantly are recycling the faces of these characters because there's so many of them that have a character from 100 years ago and some even further than that. So clearly they've been doing this for thousands of years and they're not going to stop. So 100 years from now, they're probably still going to have younger characters that look like the characters that I'm exposing right now. So they're not creative. Everything they do is recycled. We've seen all of these celebrities before in the past, and that's why people idolize them so much because when they see them, they have this familiar face because we've seen them before. So that's part of the reason why they do it. And also keep in mind, celebrities' main agenda is to deceive you and get you to idolize them because they're not powerful at all. They actually envy us because we are way more powerful. So this is why it's very foolish to idolize them when they're lower than us. You know, everything they do is negative. They're constantly promoting sins to us. So clearly these demons are not something to idolize. I just wanted to remind you guys because some people put them on a high pedestal and think they're very powerful and worth idolizing. But at the end of the day, all they want is to deceive you and manipulate you into sinning. So don't idolize them and definitely don't listen to their music. There's so much mind control programming in their music. And as always, not only do these two characters look extremely similar, but they also have the same gematria. So French and Thurgood, which is the first portion of their stage names, have the same gematria. They both share the numbers 36 and 108. And French Montana equals 132. And Marshall equals 132. And if you guys don't know who Thurgood Marshall is, he's an American civil rights lawyer. And he was the Supreme Court's first African-American justice. So this was a very influential character in history. And he's actually in a lot of history books at school. So I don't recommend taking your kids to public schools. Everything they're teaching them is scripted history, and they have the kids learning about all of these characters that are not important, and they're all fake. You know, Martin Luther King was fake. Thurgood Marshall was fake. We shouldn't be learning about these characters in school. So moving along. So Thurgood Marshall was openly a Freemason. Right here it says that he was a 33rd degree Mason. So he was a very high ranking Freemason. And this is the same person that's in the history books at schools. And he was an American civil rights lawyer and jurist. So this shows that the courts are rigged and scripted as well. The fact that this character was openly a 33rd degree Mason and he was a part of the Supreme Court and a lawyer. So this shows that a lot of court cases are scripted. There's a lot of Freemason lawyers and judges, and a lot of people don't think about this. So when you see cases like Young Thug and Gunna, and you wonder how Gunna was released from jail, keep in mind the lawyers are Freemasons, the judges are Freemasons, and everyone else involved in that court is a Freemason. So obviously everything's going to be scripted. So moving along, let's get into some more connections. So French Montana's real name is Kareem Carbouche. His last name Carbouche equals 33, just like Masonry. And keep in mind, Thurgood Marshall was a 33rd degree Mason. So that's an interesting connection. He's a 33rd degree Mason. And French Montana's last name is 33. And passed away is also 33. And Thurgood Marshall passed away in the 90s. And I wouldn't be surprised if French Montana does as well, especially considering the fact that there was a shooting at his video shoot. So now let's look at the number 84, because French Montana equals 84 in the same cipher as Freemason. And Thurgood Marshall also equals 84. And French Montana was born in 1984. And Thurgood Marshall died at age 84. Do you guys really find this to be a coincidence? These two characters look identical, and he's born in 1984. And both of their names just so happen to equal 84 like Freemason. Come on now, this is all connected. And even his last name, Marshall, equals 84. Just like Masonry. And Rob 49 was another rapper that was shot at French Montana's music video. And notice Rob 49 also equals 84. So Rob 49 was reportedly among 10 people shot at French Montana's video shoot. And this whole situation was scripted. So I'll be decoding this entire ritual at the end of the video. So stick around for that. So moving along, Thurgood Marshall was also scripted to be a Freemason because Thurgood and Freemason both equal 729 and 882. So now that we know that French Montana's base character was openly a Freemason, this should let you know that French Montana is also a Freemason. Even though he's not letting us know with his words, he's still letting us know symbolically, because not only is his name connected to Freemason, but he does all of these Freemason symbols. So right here, he's doing this diamond symbolism in plain sight. Right here, he's doing one-eye symbolism. And then right here in this interview, he's covering one eye purposely with his hat. You know, throughout this entire interview, he's constantly covering one eye. And this is not by coincidence. This is all purposely done. Right here, he's doing the Baphomet horns, just like every other character. All of them love doing this symbolism. And they've done it so much that it's been normalized. And now everybody does it. So I don't recommend doing the poses that they do. You know, that's exactly what they want. They want people to openly do these symbols so that when we see them doing it, we think it's normal. So right here, he's doing the 666 along with the one eye symbolism. And do you guys remember when it was a trend to do this symbolism in like 2010? So you guys see how they get regular people to do this? So that way when they do it, nobody thinks anything of it. You know, we're already completely desensitized to it, especially if we do it ourselves. So here he is doing the 666. And right here, he's blatantly doing 666 in plain sight, along with the thumbs up, which is also very symbolic. But the reason why he's doing the 666 right here is because Montana equals 666 in gematria. And notice how this symbol that he's doing is literally the shape of a 6. And he's showing 3 of his fingers, which indicates 666. And 666 is the number of the beast. Here is wisdom, let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. And I went in detail about 666 in my AndrewTate video because the Bible clearly states that it's also the number of a man. And in my AndrewTate video, I explained how our bodies are made of 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. So if you guys want to see that entire explanation, go watch this video. I'll put a link in the description below. So now let's talk about the next character that French Montana is based off of, which is Ari The Rugged Man. As you guys can see, they look so much alike right here. And right here, they're posing the same way, so you can really see the resemblance. And of course, they also have the same side profile and the same smile as well. So this one is really easy to see. I was looking at French Montana while making this video, and I couldn't unsee Ari The Rugged Man. So I looked it up, and of course, Ari The Rugged Man admitted it in plain sight. He has this tweet, and he posted a picture of French Montana's album cover, and he said, LOL, why does French Montana look like Ari The Rugged Man on his new album cover? So he's admitting in plain sight that French Montana is his other character. So they always put it in plain sight. And of course, they even have the same gematria. So French Montana and Ari The Rugged Man both equal 436. And French Montana's first name, Kareem, equals 83, just like Ari The Rugged Man. And it also equals 38 in the same cipher. And 38 is just a reverse of 83. So Ari The Rugged Man's real name is Richard Thorburn. So his real name matches up with French Montana as well. They both equal 753. And notice how Thor is in his last name, just like Thurgood Marshall's real name, which is Thorogood Marshall. So Thurgood is just short for Thorogood Marshall. So that's an interesting connection. They both have Thor in their name, and Thurgood Marshall is the base character of both of these characters. So not only are these two characters connected to Thor, but also recently 10 people were injured at French Montana's video shoot that happened on Thursday night. And if you guys don't know, Thursday is also Thor's Day. Thursday is named after Thor, the hammer-wielding Norse god of thunder. Thor is the Norse god of thunder, the sky, and agriculture. He is the son of Odin. And if you're subscribed to my Patreon, you might have seen the video that Divine Sade made on here, because Santa Claus's character is based off of Odin. So I recommend you guys check out this video. I'll put a link in the description below. I recommend you guys subscribe to our Patreon. I will be dropping a video soon that explains how celebrities are made. So stay tuned for that. So here's a picture of Thor. And notice how he has a chariot of goats, which is very similar to how Santa Claus has a chariot of reindeers. So that's how you can tell that Santa Claus's character is based off of Odin and Thor. So Thor is a German deity, and Ari The Rugged Man is German. So of course he's going to be German, and he's connected to this German deity. And here's some pictures of Thor with his hammer. And keep in mind, these are false idols. These are not real gods. You know, they created all of these fake idols for people to worship. And even till this day, they have people idolizing Thor with Marvel. You know, they created this fake superhero that's based off of the Thor deity. And a lot of kids like superheroes and Marvel. So they have so many people idolizing Thor again, just in a more recycled version. And even with Thursday, you know, they have people subconsciously worshiping Thor and not even knowing it. So now let's look at some more symbolism. So right here, Ari The Rugged Man has a picture where his right eye is busted. And if you guys remember, in my recent video, I talked about how the right eye is the eye of Ra. So 9 times out of 10, when they're doing one eye symbolism, they're going to cover the right eye, which is the eye of Ra, and they're going to show the left eye, which is the eye of Horus. And keep in mind, his name is Ra the Rugged Man, and Ra is literally Ra, and Ra is an Egyptian deity. As you guys can see, the Egyptians created these weird, demonic, false idols, Anubis, Ra, and Horus. And Ra was the king of the deities and the father of all creation. So you guys see how they're creating these false idols and saying that they're the father of creation. They create so many gods with a lowercase g to distract people from the one and only God with a capitalized G. And right here it says that he was the patron of the sun, heaven, kingship, power, and light. He was not only the deity who governed the actions of the sun, he could also be the physical sun itself, as well as the day. So these are all pagan gods that they want people to worship. And you can tell how demonic they are by the way they're described and their pictures. So right here it says, in one of his many forms, Ra, god of the sun, has the head of a falcon and the sun disk inside a cobra resting on his head. So right here, this is a picture of Ra, one of the false idols that they created. And notice how creepy this looks. It has the body of a human, but the head of a falcon. And it has the sun on top of him with a snake wrapped around it. And the snake represents the serpent from the Bible. So they're blatantly letting you know that if you're worshiping these Egyptian deities, you're worshiping Lucifer. So this is why I don't recommend worshiping any of these deities. They're all false idols and they're all Lucifer at the end of the day. And a lot of people try defending ancient Egypt and ancient Kemet and stuff like that. But all of this is idolatry. They're getting you to worship Lucifer and not even know it. Even though it's in plain sight, there's literally a snake on top of him. And Lucifer likes to disguise himself as light when he's actually darkness. So that's why he loves creating these deities after himself in the image of light. You know, this is in the image of the sun, which represents light. So anyways, back to the connections. So Montana equals 111, and Thorogood Marshall equals 111, and Ra the Rugged Man's real name also equals 111. So clearly all three of these characters are the same. Now let's take a look at the Eminem connection. So French Montana has a song with Eminem called Magic. So again, they're letting you know in plain sight that they do black magic and witchcraft on you when you listen to their music. All of their music is filled with magic and mind control. So I don't recommend listening to their music. But anyways, Eminem is an interesting connection here because French Montana has a song with him, and R.A. the Rugged Man is always compared to Eminem because they're both white lyrical rappers that were around at the same time. So here's a video of R.A. the Rugged Man talking about Eminem. And in this video, you'll notice that he looks exactly like French Montana.
Last week, I addressed a couple issues, the media, you know, how they sometimes...
So another interesting connection with Eminem is the fact that not only are those two characters connected to him, but Thurgood Marshall is too, because Eminem's first name is Marshall and Thurgood Marshall's last name is Marshall. So all three of these characters are connected to Eminem. Now let's get into the next character, which is Rudy Gobert, or Rudy Gobert. I'm not sure how you say his name, but regardless, this is obviously one of French Montana's characters as well. As you guys can see, they look so much alike right here. So this one is really obvious. And again, this proves that the NBA is fake and scripted, along with every other sport. You know, I'm going to keep exposing athletes because people are really attached to sports. But anyways, an interesting connection with this is the fact that Rudy Gobert is from France, and his other character is French Montana. So his name is French, and his other character is from France. So this is an obvious connection in plain sight. So next character that we're going to talk about very quickly is Tom Huddlestone. So Tom Huddlestone is a soccer player, And as you guys can see, he looks identical to French Montana as well. So they have so many characters. Now let's talk about the scripting of this Rob 49 shooting. So Rob 49 was shot with 10 other people at French Montana's video shoot. Rob 49 equals 66, French Montana equals 66, and Number of the Beast equals 66. And like I showed you guys earlier, Montana literally equals 666, which is the number of the beast. And keep in mind, this shooting happened at a video shoot, which is very ironic. You know, it's called a video shoot, and a shooting happens at his video shoot. You know, this is clearly scripted, and literally scripted, because as you guys can see, French Montana and video shoot both equal 132 in the same cipher too. And shooting equals 44. And this shooting happened exactly 44 weeks before French Montana's birthday. And Rob 49 was shot at this music video shoot that happened on January 5th, 2023. And when you do the numerology of that date, it equals 49. So Rob 49 was shot on a date with 49 numerology. There's no way that could be a coincidence. And notice how this happened in Miami, Florida, outside of a restaurant. And restaurant equals 38. And Florida equals 38, which is where this happened. And French Montana is exactly 38 right now. So he's 38 at the time of this shooting in Florida, outside of a restaurant, and they all equal 38. So this proves how scripted all of this is. And death equals 38. And his first name Kareem equals 38 and 83, just like murder. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if this character gets killed. The fact that I had a dream about French Montana getting killed 2 weeks before his video shoot got shot up shows that there's a high possibility that this character is going to fake his death. And they've hinted at this multiple times. They did so much predictive programming in 2003 because French Montana said that he was shot in the head in 2003 and he survived with no brain injuries. You know, obviously this is fake and scripted, because what are the chances that he gets shot in the head in 2003 and then in 2023 another shooting happens but he doesn't get shot? And also French Montana was hospitalized a couple years ago, which is more predictive programming of his death. You know, they're getting us used to him being in the hospital and getting shot so that when it happens, we're already desensitized to it and we accept it. And notice how he also has a music video called Shot Caller. So he's done so much predictive programming for this. And even his other character has so many pictures hinting at the fact that he might fake his death as well. So for sure, one of these characters are going to fake their death. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to drop a like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow me on Instagram, and subscribe to my Patreon. The links are in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm out.